Welcome to the daily devotion with Roslyn. My name is Roslyn Mshonga, and welcome to all my new members. This is a new channel. I have another channel here on YouTube that is called Rose Natural Beauty Haven, but this one is called the Daily Devotion by Roslyn. I will be sharing with you my life experiences and how I have overcome using the Word of God. I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, today, that when the Word of God says whatever it says, it really means it. So what we need to do, we need to pray the Word of God. Praying is not something that you just utter words without standing on the Word of God. If somebody tells you that I will give you something, then you constantly remind that person, like you have said you are going to give me something. That person will honor their words. So same applies with God. This is how he does. Though I have found and have seen that the word of God is something that is very difficult to understand at times, and some of the things that are there are not easy to understand. And I think God did that for a reason. And a kingdom cannot just expose everything. You need to fight so that you get revelation of the word of God. So today I'm going to be talking about the verse, or when God says, whatsoever that you desire, you shall have it. He was saying, like, whatsoever that you desire, whatsoever that you desire. So desiring is something that comes in your heart. So when something comes in your heart, it's like you are thinking, you are meditating on it, and you are desiring to have that thing. So in the word, like in Mark chapter 11 verse 24, he says, therefore I say unto you, whatsoever you desire, when you pray, believe that you shall have it, and it shall be done unto you. So you need to believe, like, whatever you are desiring, that it will be accomplished, it will be given unto you. So many Christians desire, but they don't continue desiring, and they simply desire, like, for a moment they put that thing aside and they say probably that's not the will of God. But here the word of God says, whatsoever that you desire when you pray. So desiring comes in the heart, in the mind, imagination. So whatsoever that you desire, it does not mean like you'll be able to do it. Like you'd say, I want a car, or I want a house, and you really know, like, in your pocket, your funds, your business cannot buy you a car or a house. But because you are desiring, and the Lord has said, whatsoever that you desire, it shall be given unto you. God has got his own ways and means to do it. He has his means and ways to do it. And giving an example on Luke chapter 18 verse 5, it's about the parable of a persistent widow. Jesus was telling his disciples to constantly pray and asking. This widow was going to the king, and this king was said to be an unjust king. He was a king who was not fearing God. He was a king who did not bother what people think or say about him. He was just a king who was, I think, he was selfish. He just looked to himself, and he wanted himself, and he just respected himself, not any other person. But this widow continued going there and seeking justice against her adversaries. But this king, because of being unjust, he said at one point, I am just going to grant this widow, I'm just going to grant her requests, because she has continually bothered me and she's making me crazy. Some Bible versions say the king was bothered, the king was driven crazy, he was pestered, and this widow caused him so much trouble. And laterwards, this king agreed and gave what this widow wanted. So same applies in our life. Whatsoever that we desire, we need to continue asking and seeking and desiring and reminding God with his word and saying, God, you said whatsoever that we desire, it will be given unto us, it will be granted to us. If you look in at Luke chapter 18, they say this king was unjust. So I say I can put this king or in a scenario like he's a devil, or he's like those evil spirits that continually like block our requests. So you need to continue, ladies and gentlemen, to ask whatsoever that you have on your heart, whatsoever that you have on your heart, whatsoever, because if you don't, these evil spirits or these whatever that follow you, like that follow your bloodline, the ancestral spirits and the familiar spirits of your family, they will continue hindering you. But if you continue, if you are persistent in believing and trusting in God and believing, you will get. So you need to desire, you need to be persistent in desiring and praying and asking God for anything that you have on your heart. As he says, whatsoever, it's not specified like what exactly you have to desire for. So if you desire to be healthy, if you desire to have financial breakthroughs, if you desire to have peace, if you desire to have happiness, riches, joy, whatsoever that you desire, and if you desire to have whatsoever, you can as well just remind him and say, like, if you desire riches and wealth, you can as well remind God and say, God, this is what you said in Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18. You are the one that gives us wealth. You are the one that gives us the power to produce wealth. So it has to be done, Lord, as I am desiring, O Jehovah, to be wealthy, because this is my desire. So you need to say everything that you want to him. Don't desire for a thing and go around telling people and asking people. You may desire to have a car and you go about telling and asking people. It's not everyone who is going to clap for you. It's not everyone who is going to be on your side. Some will be hindering you spiritual. When you ask that, they can as well pray in their hearts and say, no, this one she cannot be driving. No, this one she cannot be married. No, this one she cannot have a child. So whatever that you desire, let it be known only to God. Let it be known only to God. And if God knows about it, he will act. He is a God who is awesome, and is a God who does things. Is a God who can work wonders when you are sleeping, when you are thinking, when you are just saying, Lord, I want this, without telling people. Without telling people. I urge you guys, I urge you people of God, don't desire something and you go about asking from people or bothering people that I want this, I want a business, I want to have this, I want to. Let God work on your behalf, because he's the one who said, whatsoever that you desire and you pray about it, it shall be granted unto you. Like I said earlier on, I will be using most of these things, most examples of the things that had happened in my life. At one point, I worked some years back. I worked so hard, and I wanted to go for a vacation. I really wanted to go maybe for 4 days, 5 days, and wind off and try to relax. But I was thinking, okay, fine, if I use the money that I have, maybe my money for business will be reduced, it will be too little, and I may not be affording, because I want to continue having my business. So what do I do? But still, that desire did not go away. I still had the desire. I still was like, God, I wish if I could just go. I wish if I could just go for a vacation, for a holiday. But I never told anyone. I would pray about it. It would continue ringing in my heart, in my mind all day long. I would continue like, God, I've worked so hard this year. I wish if I could just go, me and my children, for a holiday. But the Lord is not like deaf that he can't hear. He hears even what we say deep inside our hearts. He heard me. There was raffle tickets that were being sold at our church that time. I think they took about almost 2 months selling those, but I never had the desire of buying that raffle ticket. I just said, why should I buy? So it came a time like the raffle was just going to be drawn on that day. But in me, there was a serious edge in me that said, you need to buy that raffle. You need to buy at least 1 or 2 raffle tickets. Then I said, should I buy? Am I not wasting my money? Will I ever win? So I bought, it was like $2 per ticket. So I said, okay, fine, let me just buy 2 tickets for $4. So I bought, it was an hour before the draw. So the draw was there finally. I was seated at the back. I was just like exhausted, also like serving in the house of God because it was a conference and I'd like worked for a week before at church. So when I was seated, they started like giving away. They gave 10 consolation prizes. I wasn't there. Then I said to myself, wow, I think I've just wasted my $4. So it was time for the main prizes. So the third prize was called out, and this lady, she won a dinner for 2. Then the second prize was a holiday to Caribbean Bay for 2 people. It was 4 days and 3 nights. So my ticket number was called out. You see the working of God. You see how God does things. Guys, I screamed, I jumped, and I just had to give a testimony that day. Like, I had really wished for a vacation. I had really wished to go at least away and rest, and God granted it. I did not go about asking from people like, please guys, help me, I want to go for a vacation. No, God can work. He's got his own ways how he does his things. So you need to continue like trusting in God. And the first prize was a color TV. And I think the color TV, the price of a color TV and the price of the second prize, a holiday to Caribbean Bay in Kariba, was I think more expensive than the price of the first prize. But that's how God does things. He placed me to have that vacation because I had desired it. So don't go about asking people, telling people, do you know God? You just need to desire in your heart, pray about it. The Lord will see you through. So this is what I had in my first video on this channel. So please take time to subscribe, share, and like this video, and invite other people, and let's continue being together. And also turn on your notification button so that every day as I post, you'll be able to hear more. So what I leave you with today is desire, continue desiring, delight in the Lord, and he will grant the desires of your heart. Psalms 37 verse 4 says that. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy.